Hi, Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your July 16th to the 31st, 2023 reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the YouTube algorithm see my channel, and it helps it grow, so thank you so very much for doing so. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see the energy we need to be mindful of during this time. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly, guide this reading, and show me clearly. This is the Hangman reversed. We're seeing things differently, and we're seeing things differently again. So there's a real sense of our worldview being shaken up. And we can feel rather agitated because of this, because it's not comfortable, right? The hangman isn't comfortable. And then turning the hangman upside down isn't comfortable. So there's something here where we're dealing with a lot of discomfort with the way that we're seeing things, with what we're looking forward to or looking towards, or what even we're dealing with. There's a sense of a new view coming into play, and it's throwing us. So just be aware of that. Be aware that like things just feel really up in the air. It feels a little bit chaotic. It feels a little bit overwhelming. And stepping back and just saying, I don't have to have the answers, right? I don't have to have the answers. That can be very, very liberating during this time because there's so many questions flying forward. So let's see what Spirit has to say. Angels and Spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and Spirit guides. And here we have clarity. This is going to be a time that makes a lot of things really rather clear for us. There's going to be clarity that comes into play. We're going to be seeing things in a different way, even though we're feeling overwhelmed by like all the different ways that we're seeing everything. We're questioning everything. We're questioning our questions. We're questioning our answers. We're questioning everything. And so here, to just kind of breathe out, slow down, and let clarity come, to say, I don't need to have all the answers, or I don't even need to know the questions. That can be very liberating. And to take yourself off of the time frame of everybody else and put yourself just simply focusing on your world, your love, your passion, what you desire in life, or just even figuring it out. You don't need to have all the answers. Stepping into a more spiritual realm can also really help a Pisces find clarity because you're ruled by Neptune. Neptune is the ruler of the unseen world. Neptune is the spiritual realm of things. And so embracing that aspect of ourselves can really help us see us more clearly. We want things. It's very interesting. So especially if you're born on the cusp with Aries, or around like, a 5 day till the change to Aries, to the zodiac Aries, you can find that you want things to be very structured, very orderly, very, this is how it is, especially also if you have a lot of fire sign, earth sign energy in your natal chart. But to embrace the spiritual and to say, this is also, intrinsically important to me, that's a very big deal. That is one of the biggest things we can do for ourselves. And to say, all right, having the practical, it will come. But the spiritual, that's where I need to sink my teeth into. Like, that's what I need for my life and for myself, for my joy. Let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. Okay. Angels and spirit guides, ooh, show me clearly. Guide this reading. No. Okay. And show me clearly, angels. There we are. Okay, interesting. This is an interesting time. There are a lot of reverse cards, which isn't a bad thing, but we're going to think, oh, wow, here we go. It's, again, right? Nothing works out the way that I need it to for me. We're very harsh on ourselves, very negative towards ourselves. So we have to step back from that. There's going to be a lot of self criticism coming forward, and it can snap out at people, especially since we don't really feel ourselves as prosperous as we wanted to be at this stage in our lives. Now, it doesn't mean that we won't embrace prosperity later on, but some things aren't just and some things aren't fair. And this is just going to be a time where we accept that, where we say, okay, justice reverse can be that we're having a bit of difficulty with the Libra energy or with the time frame September 23rd to October 22nd, if that has relevance to you. But this is also saying things aren't fair and things aren't just. And to come to terms with that, to say, okay, that's a big thing because some things in life, they just aren't fair. They're not just. I'm not talking about the horrific that happened to people that you know, that I hear about. That I have a really hard time rationalizing. But bad things happen to good people here. And with justice reversed, that's very much it. We're not always going to get the fairness, the the justice, that sense of vindication that we want. And there's a need here to say, okay, I see that. Others might not see, you know, I might not be vindicated outwardly, but I need to see me. I need to be just and fair to me because we're looking for that outside vindication, and that can take a really long time to come. But if we are just and fair to ourselves, if we treat ourselves with respect and with dignity, that's huge because we're kind of waiting for the outside world to do it first. And then we'll be like, oh, okay, now I can respect me. Now I can love me. Now I can, cheer for me. No, start now. Start now. And some things aren't going to be just as balanced as we want them to be. And that's okay. Not everything has to be perfectly equal during this time. It's going to be a time where it's a little bit wobbly. And we're like, ooh, why is it wobbly? It's like, that's just because it is. And once we accept that, it's like, oh, okay, I can work with this. It's kind of like wanting to, I'm just seeing like skateboarding. I don't know. I don't skateboard, but I'm seeing like skateboarding and wanting to skateboard on a path that isn't perfectly smooth and wanting it to be smooth, but it's not. And so Spirit is saying here, you have to accept the terrain for what it is. And that's going to be really important. So I know that works for somebody here is a skateboarder, very big time. But here it's like you need to accept the terrain for what it is. With the 10 of Pentacles reversed. Financially, you're not where you want to be. You might be in a very good spot, okay, but you're not at that goal that you thought you were going to be at. You're very harsh on yourself because of this. Be aware of this. You're coming to a conclusion financially. You've reached an end of a cycle and you're looking at things and you're finding yourself wanting. Stop it. Stop it. Prosperity, success, and bounty are coming. But you have to broaden your definition. Your words are limited. Your idea of things are limited right now because you're seeing things in a very, very narrow way. And here, it's like open your mind to yourself. Look at your prosperity. Look at your bounty. Look at what you want to create and cultivate. And then start looking at your gifts because you're way more talented than you give yourself credit for. And there's just a sense here of frustration and of anger and of being overwhelmed. So acknowledging that is going to be really important and coming to a conclusion of a cycle and realizing that this is going to be a time, it's more community based. We're wanting to do everything by ourselves and that's cool, but it's more community based for us here at Pisces. And that's going to be a very big thing to step into. It's like, oh, okay, a sharing of ideas, a sharing of, there's just a forum that you become a part of or that you become much more active in that really helps to elevate you, really helps to move you forward. Working with other people is also going to be a great thing, especially for very, singular in what you do. If it's very singular, this is a time where you need to to bounce ideas off of. You need to hear more than just your own voice echoed back at you. So that's going to be a big deal. And that's a big thing because that starts to bring in more prosperity, more success. With the Four of Wands, there is a celebration coming forward. There is a change in commitments that you are going through. Somebody here is going to jump the gun and want to get married really quickly. That just needs to be acknowledged. And here, Spirit is saying you want a big change. You want a big change and you want a big celebration. So you're going to have that manifest in your life the way that you think it should be. But Spirit is saying here, don't jump the gun with anything because we can get really frustrated with that commitment because it's not where we want to be. We're kind of doing it more out of, well, it's supposed to be happening, right? So it can be with a marriage, it can be with a career, it can be, with, a family, a relationship, whatever it is. We're going to tend to go from 0 to 100, but this is a time where we need to kind of like tone it down, and be much more fair with ourselves. With the Four of Wands, there's new opportunity, there's new passion, there's new commitment coming forward. But like Spirit has to bring it forward to us. We have to connect, and it's through the spiritual that we are going to see doors really start to open. It's not going to be in the way that we expected. Now, with the Empress, we're having a hard time with our anger and with our heart. It doesn't mean that we have anger management issues or anything like that. But I'm seeing here we're having a hard time stepping into the sacred feminine aspect of our energy and not being annoyed. And I don't know exactly why that is. We can feel like too mothered, too nurtured, or we kind of want to break out on our own, and that's cool. But here, there's a sense of resentment coming forward, and that's not going to lead us anywhere good. So just be aware of this. We can be really snippy when people give us ideas because we can feel like, oh, you're trying to mother me. We just don't want to be mothered for some reason during this time. It's like, no, I don't want that. I want to just go and do. And Spirit's like, okay, that's great. But we're so eager to prove something that we're going to trip ourselves up. So just be aware of this. Stepping into our sacred feminine energy, knowing that that's where a lot of our power comes from, that's where a lot of our grace and a lot of our tenacity and brilliance comes from. That's going to be a really good thing because when we turn this around, it's cultivating our creativity, it's embracing our love and our passion, and it's everything coming together. And we're having just a bit of a hard time with that during this time. And so here, the clarity comes when we slow down. We need to slow down. And I know somebody's going to be saying, and somebody is saying, how slow, do I need to go? Like, how long do I need to wait? We're not on our time scale when it comes to the achievement of our goals, to living the life that we're here on this earth to live. We need to forget about achieving this goal at this time, achieving this goal at this time, and we need to start connecting with Spirit and saying, okay, how do I move forward? How do I honor the moment that I'm in instead of trying to make it into something it isn't right now? How can I make the best out of me at this moment, out at this time? Because the anger comes forward. Tapping your tailbone is going to be really beneficial, and tapping your open fist like this, like with these like circles, right? And tapping your kidneys to release anger, to release frustration, to let vitality move forward. You have such creative spirit, Pisces, and it's blocked right now. And it's like backed up, back up, back up, and it's making you angry. This needs to be released. There's a betrayal that comes in. Now, I see this as kind of like an old wound that's festering. And we're thinking, well, that person was right. Oh my gosh, that person was right. And there's a sense of we're trying to do something, and then we have these old words coming in. It's time to stop. It's time to release that. Because this old negativity, it can rule us if it wants to. It can. It'll just take over. We're kind of in a frustrated place already. And these words are getting more power and more power and more power. And Spirit's like, this needs to stop. So just be very aware of this. Be very aware that somebody's nonsense that they spoke either to be spiteful, hurtful, hateful, or they just ran their mouth and they weren't thinking. It's having a lot more power than it really should. So just be aware of this. And with the sleepers, okay, you're not sleeping well. Okay, that's good. It's going to be one of the main things here. You need to rest. You need to help improve your rest, your sleep, taking care of yourself. It might not even mean that you need to sleep longer, but it's the quality of sleep that you have. So be aware of this. But be aware that there's a part of you that's awakening, but your world is becoming very small. And that's, again, something that's frustrating to us right now. We want bigger and better and more and brighter. But here, it's like, no, the world needs to be very small. It needs to be focused on just you. You're breathing in, you're breathing out. What do you love? What do you want? What do you need? And there's a rhythm to it that you're going to be seeing during this time. It's kind of like a heartbeat, right? It's your creativity, it's your insight, it's your ideas. Bigger isn't better. We tend to think, and our world tends to tell us, the more you have, the bigger it is, the fancier it is, the more, the happier you'll be. You'll be. And that's not true. It's just not true. Here, it's really looking at what we want, what we love, and building a security and prosperity around us. Stop being so hard on yourself. Stop. There's a world that's opening up, and there's a beauty that's opening up to us. There's like a new celebration coming forward. Instead of looking right now at everything that isn't right, which we can get very caught up in that. It's a very human thing to do. We need to look at ourselves, and we need to say, how am I awakening to me? We're hearing a call, and that's, again, a reason why we're frustrated. We're hearing a call. It's supposed to be more, but we're supposed to connect with us first, and then we step out. And the stepping out into the world, it might be a very small world we step into, connecting with our community, connecting with our family, connecting with our animals, like whatever it is that sparks joy, that brings love into your life, embrace that. Slow and steady moments, because right now you're kind of burnt out and it's making things a lot more difficult. So be aware of this. It's time to slow down. It's time to take care of you. It's time to mother you. And that's why we're so opposed right now to being mothered, because we need to mother ourselves. We need to connect and care for and love and be compassionate with us. And because we're not being that, we're kind of taking it out on everybody else. So just be aware of it. And this was a little bit of an intense reading, but yeah, it's the message that Spirit brought forward. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of, is the Chariot. It's the Chariot. The Chariot is just wanting to charge ahead. And we're going to think progress forward. Just keep on charging forward. But it's running amok. So here, it's better to make a little bit of progress. Like 2 steps forward is better. 2 intentional, powerful steps forward is better than miles just higgly-piggly run, just chaotically gotten through. It's, because there's scars that will come with this. So just be aware of this. Our subconscious spirit message is serenity, peace, serenity. Calm it down. Calm it down. We're being very harsh on ourselves. And it's just not fair to us. We're not being fair to us at all. Our subconscious tarot message is the 6 of Wands reverse. We're not celebrating ourselves. We're not seeing that there's a reason to celebrate. Again, we're kind of harsh on ourselves during this time. Green-eyed monster is coming through. We're looking at us and we're just like, ugh. And we shouldn't look at ourselves and be like, ugh. It's time to celebrate. It's time to see the greatness. It's time to move us forward, not in arrogance, but in genuine love and compassion. So here, just know it's just a little bit difficult. And we can sit there and be like, oh, why is it? We can blame it on the weather. We can blame it on this. We can blame it on that. Actually, we are very affected. Oh, goodness. Very affected by the weather. We're very affected by the structures of things. And so things are just a little bit off within the cosmos celestially. We feel that very, very intensely. So be aware of that. We're represented by the moon in the tarot, and the moon affects the waters, and we are a water sign. So we're affected by things so quickly, and we don't want to be. We want to be so strong and like nothing bothers us and able to strut forward. And that's just not us. Our greatest power is in our sensitivity and is in the grace through that sensitivity. Seeing that as a superpower is going to be the best thing we can do for ourselves, especially during this time where we're really seeing that as a negative. It's not. It is our superpower, our ability to emotionally connect, to tune in. It moves us forward in ways that we can't even imagine, right? Is a superpower. we can connect so brilliantly, but giving ourselves permission to, that's scary. All right. All right, Pisces. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Pisces. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless. Bye.